How's it going, everybody? Don't be alarmed by the title, this won't be a pure rant post, and as always, I will include informational bits as well. But suffice it to say, sometimes our community needs a wake-up call when it comes to certain behavior. Oftentimes, it's not even intentional bad behavior from your teammates, it's just bad habits that formed over the months or even years. There are also tons of terrible advice being given out on many of the big public forums from other content creators or social media in general. I don't want to single anybody or anything out here. Also keep in mind, nobody is perfect, we all make mistakes. Getting upset at every little thing will do you no good. Trust me, I have first-hand experience here. And another disclaimer before we get into it, character picks. While I am a firm supporter of single pick, I also believe that everybody should be free to pick whatever character they want to play. If somebody enjoys playing a hero that is considered bottom tier, then that person is free to do so. Yeah, it might not be the best option for your team, but in the end, we can't dictate what a random person is supposed to enjoy. I understand that this is a little contradictory to the whole single pick debate that I've been kicking like a dead horse for years now, but getting upset just because someone decides to pick a non-S tier hero is petty at best. Alright, enough of that, let's look at what's truly upsetting when it comes to teammates. Number 1. Adding that third tag. Revenge, for a lot of people, is still shrouded in absolute mystery, and even with the implemented yellow bar around somebody's crest next to the health bar, random attacks are still thrown out willy-nilly. I've explained the tag system ad nauseum, and if you're unfamiliar with it, you can check my revenge guide. Some things like the revenge meter in the bottom left or the feed revenge attacks are no longer present in the game, but the fundamental basics of how revenge is gained, those have not changed. The tag system and how much revenge and attack feeds are still the same, and have been for many months now. In my opinion, it is one of the most important things to understand when you play a team mode in For Honor. Revenge can be such a pivotal ingredient to a fight and can quickly turn the tides. Fights you should have never won somehow become easy because the opponent fed the orange. In short, the more tags you have compared to the enemy applying it, the faster your revenge bar fills up. In most scenarios you're looking at 2 tags against 1. This is how ganks are looked at, and most experiences when it comes to, will my attack fill the bar or will it only feed up to 90%? Those are based on 2 tags. Once a third tag enters the equation, all that goes out the window. You gain the revenge exponentially faster once you enter the territory of 3 or even 4. I understand that it is hard to keep track of tags, especially in team fights, but in my opinion there is no excuse when it comes to adding a third tag in gank scenarios. The problem here is that it works against the base understanding of 3 people do more damage than 2. Meaning the opponent should die faster when I attack as well. But not only do we have the revenge mechanic, but consecutive hit damage reduction is also a thing. While many think I am helping, it is in fact the exact opposite. The person you are helping is the enemy, and not your team. The end result is that the fight does not end sooner like the person is anticipating, but the fight is unnecessarily prolonged. Chewing through a revenge shield takes time, so at the bare minimum, it is 8 seconds of extra fight time. With heavy perks in place, even longer. Being mindful of tags and ganks is such an important aspect, and at the same time very easy to do. Doing nothing is in fact more beneficial to your team than pressing buttons. One might say it is in fact a backwards concept, but it does ring true in For Honor when it comes to these outnumbered fights. You don't need to know any ganks or specific interactions with your other ganking partners. Just being close and exuding pressure can be more than enough. Because it's not just ingrained on the gankers, but also the person being ganked. Oh no, now there's even more people, I might die even quicker. So they are panicking as well, making them play worse. I really can't stress it enough. Stop adding third tags. Adding a second tag in teamfights or ganks is fine. It will most likely balance itself out in teamfights, and ganks should eventually become more coordinated the better you get at the game. Not necessarily with me as an example, but the third and fourth tag are never needed. It can almost be seen as throwing the fight. There's obviously nuance to it if it means you can finish someone off, or no revenge has been fed prior. But if you ask yourself, should I really attack here? then the answer most likely is no. But oftentimes, the question is not even asked. Moving on. Point 2. Leaving capture points unattended. This is a little complicated to explain since we have the two extremes here. We have people that do not leave a point under no circumstance and boost all game. And at the end, they complain why their teammates haven't done anything. And on the other side of the coin, you have people that just mindlessly chase every fight there is. They see an opponent, they run towards them. One opponent or 4, they don't care. We've established this before. Monkey see, monkey do. Finding the sweet spot here is hard, but there is one rule of thumb that you can follow. If you are holding a point and don't know where all opponents are, and you don't get a call for help from your teammates, then you probably should stay put and defend the point. Side points are crucial, since they are the only real source of healing without having to kill anybody. Half-dead players will not contribute as much to a match as the ones with full health. I'm not even looking at point generation to actually win the map here. Controlling points is the main objective in Dominion. That is how you get score, not by chasing kills. Leaving a point unattended and getting it capped within 10 seconds by a person that just respawned is a terrible tactical decision. I don't think I even need to elaborate on that. Keep an eye on the battlefield. How many orange shields do you see? Look at the top bar. How many opponents are dead? Is someone respawning any moment now? What are they most likely going to do? During those times, you stay on the point and observe. Once you see the enemy move to a location, you can then make the decision, but not beforehand. Defend the point because they're coming to you, or move out and reinforce your teammates. I know that many regard the tactical aspect as being sweaty. They just want to relax when playing. But let's look at it like this. When you started out and everyone was parrying your attacks because you didn't know how to feint yet, you probably called them sweats too. But eventually you improved and it became a normal part of your gameplay, even when you're just relaxing. And the tactical aspect can become the same. Yeah, you might have to pay a little more attention at first, but soon it will become second nature to just keep an eye on what is happening on the map. Because this is what legit loses you games. And the moment more people start paying attention to it, the more it alleviates the pressure on single players that feel like they have to do it all. Boost the point, capture a new one, help in the team fight. The moment people stop giving up points because they saw a squirrel they needed to chase, the easier matches will become. You will have easy access to heals, it will be easier to identify where to take the fight, and most important of all, you will gain more points and thus win more games. It doesn't take much extra effort, and it should be pretty much self-explanatory when it's time to boost and when it's time to leave the point. This doesn't mean it'll be easy. Like I said in the beginning, we all make mistakes and we misjudge situations. It's always possible for your teammates to lose a 1v2 somewhere, or you get backcapped by a hero with stealth that you didn't see. The takeaway here is that it can be a completely different avenue for you to improve your gameplay. It doesn't always have to be on the mechanical level. Just move around the map in a smarter way and your team will thank you for it. And then for the last one, point number 3. Any form of honor code. To be fair, I personally never see it, neither from my team nor my opponents, but when reading Reddit or other forums, this seems to be far from a rare occurrence. It's bizarre to me that after more than 5 years we still have people that insist on it. I said in the beginning that people should be allowed to play however they want, but at one point, this way of thinking just doesn't hold up anymore. That person is actively deciding to be a detriment to the team, simply for the fact that they refuse to play as a team. No ganking, no team fighting, only 1v1s, always letting the executions go through, letting opponents heal to have a fair 1v1, whatever it might be. That player is by definition griefing their team. There is no two ways about it. It's the textbook definition of griefing. Unlike the previous 2 points, it is not for the lack of experience or because they made an honest mistake. It is a conscious decision to play in this very specific way. Obviously, it is not as clear-cut when it comes to deciding when a specific behavior should be regarded as griefing. It is very hard to reach players that think like that, and they most likely take offense in me mentioning it here. At the end of the day, it is a team mode, And if you are actively not working as a team, then I honestly don't know why you're even bothering to play it. Because it must annoy you just as much when your or the enemy team don't follow your made up rules. I don't think anything will change in that regard to the last point, but I sincerely hope that everyone can work a little on the first two. Let me know if you want a more dedicated video on any of these points here. Maybe specific things aren't as clear as I think they are. I will leave you with that. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters, everybody.
Kume. Never mind.
As soon as you open your mouth, I got GPT.
Hello, what the fuck did I just watch? Yo, dude, you're so good. Hello. How?
Oh, haha, you take everything back.
What was that?
Never want to
What
talk to you
was
again in my
that?
life.